You know, one of the wonderful things about children, students alike, is if we give them the materials that they need, they can utilize those materials and apply them when needed. I once had an issue with these two boys who continued to fight. And instead of, the parents kept on saying, just let them fight after school. And I didn't think that would be a productive way to handle it. So what I did was I had them, they were inseparable during recess, during lunch. They had to report to my classroom and stay in my classroom. And they had to sit together. Then I asked both of them, I said, I want you to tell me the story from his perspective, the opposite person's perspective. One of the biggest problems that we have when we're not getting along is that we only know our side of the story. When you know the other person's perspective, it makes it easier for you to understand and be able to empathize with that opposite person. When they actually were able to really look at each other, they realized that the biggest problem was something in interior. Whatever the problem was internally that they were having a problem with, it was more so based upon a pain that probably needed to be cleared up. By me making them inseparable, they could not escape each other, which meant they had to deal with each other even more so, allowing them to get to know who that opposite person was, because now they had no choice. In our society, we have people who are constantly fighting about different things. It's one thing when it's greed. It's one thing when a person is only looking at what it is that they want. When you look at it from another person's perspective, you're able to see that that person is human just like you. That person's experiences are important just as your experiences are important. Where are we having the problem? Our society is filled with people from different cultures. If we all spoke the same languages, or if we put forth the effort to try to understand another person's language, maybe if there were free language classes all the time, maybe people would go. I know the senior citizens have access to them, free at the colleges. But it's really important, that we find a better way of communicating. God gave us fruit, gave us herbs to support our health. It's almost like the mahogany tree, okay? The mahogany tree renders very strong wood and very beautiful wood. Different colors of brown. I mean, just beautiful. But what about the sky fruit that is rendered from the actual tree? That sky fruit, when you open it up, you see that they have the seedlings in it are in the center of these little. They are this. I forgot what you call them. But anyway, the seedlings are white, and you have to tear open the brown portion of the inner portion of the seed in order to get to that inner core. I know in Malaysia they use those seeds for diabetes. They use them for different reasons, different ailments. Again, God has given us so many different formulas. We don't always know the dynamics. And of course, you should always consult your doctor if you are having a problem. I'm not a doctor. But it's just really important that we realize that our trees, have different things that can actually support our systems. So when we look at how we're getting along, when we're looking at how we can improve our circumstances, we have to figure out how it is that we're going to be able to communicate these very things, because our children are watching us. And as they watch us, they wonder, if we're not getting along, how are they to get along? We have to figure out different ways in which we can communicate more effectively so that we are able to help them, so that they're not doing the same physical fighting. No one needs to physically put their hands on anyone. But at the same time, let us look at how we are moving forward. We have all these different ways in which we can communicate. let us begin to communicate as effectively as possible. That's been my word. This is Indigo Moon. You have an awesome day.